something is shifting behind palace walls and across the Atlantic. And this time, sources say it's not just whispers. It's paperwork, questions, and a quiet tension that insiders claim has Meghan Markle more unsettled than she's been in years. Stay with us, because as this story unfolds, the details grow more intriguing by the minute. And if you value calm, balanced royal reporting that digs beneath the surface, now is the perfect moment to subscribe, like, and share Royal Report 24/7 as we unravel what may be a turning point no one saw coming. According to multiple reports circulating in royal and media circles, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's charitable foundation, Archewell, has recently found itself under a new kind of spotlight. Not from tabloids, not from commentators, but from official channels, specifically inquiries reportedly linked to U.S. tax oversight. To be clear, no wrongdoing has been confirmed. But royal insiders say the mere presence of questions has sent a ripple through Meghan's carefully constructed post-royal world. For years, Archewell has been presented as the Sussex's moral and philanthropic centerpiece, a symbol of independence, purpose, and global impact after stepping away from royal duties. It was meant to represent freedom from palace constraints and the beginning of a new chapter on their own terms. Yet now, sources suggest that chapter may be facing its most uncomfortable footnote yet. Insiders claim the concern isn't just about forms or filings. It's about perception. In royal circles, perception is everything. And those close to King Charles reportedly see this moment as quietly significant. Not because of what has been proven, but because of what it may signal: scrutiny replacing sympathy. Royal commentators note that charities tied to high-profile figures are often held to stricter public expectations, even when operating within the law. And insiders say Meghan, who is known to be deeply invested in image and narrative, is acutely aware of how quickly public opinion can shift once official questions enter the conversation. What makes this moment especially tense, according to sources, is the timing. The royal family has been navigating a delicate period: health concerns, transitions, and a renewed emphasis on duty and stability. Against that backdrop, any controversy connected to the Sussexes risks reopening old wounds the palace has worked hard to seal. Reports suggest King Charles has adopted a cautious, measured stance. Those familiar with his thinking say he is not reacting publicly, and likely won't. But privately, insiders claim, there's concern that this situation could further complicate already fragile family dynamics. After all, Charles has spent years attempting to project calm continuity, even as personal matters swirl beneath the surface. And then there is Catherine. According to royal observers, the Princess of Wales has become an unspoken contrast in this unfolding story. While Meghan's world reportedly feels uncertain, Catherine's public image has been steadily reshaped around quiet resilience, duty, and transparency. Insiders say this contrast has not gone unnoticed by the public or by palace strategists. Some sources suggest that palace aides are acutely aware of how narratives are aligning. One royal path rooted in service and restraint, the other in activism and celebrity. And now, with questions reportedly surrounding Archewell, that comparison may become even sharper. To be fair, experts point out that IRS inquiries are not uncommon for charitable organizations, especially those with international reach and high-profile leadership. Such reviews do not imply guilt, but insiders say the stress comes from the symbolism. For Meghan, whose post-royal identity has been built on independence and credibility, even neutral scrutiny can feel destabilizing. Royal insiders claim Meghan is particularly sensitive to situations where control over the narrative slips away. Unlike interviews or documentaries, regulatory processes don't respond to emotional framing. They rely on documents, timelines, and compliance. And that, sources say, is what has reportedly shaken her the most. Behind the scenes, speculation is growing about how this could affect future plans. Archewell has been central to media deals, partnerships, and public initiatives. If questions linger, even without findings, it could make potential collaborators more cautious. And in the world Meghan now operates in, perception often moves faster than facts. Meanwhile, some royal watchers believe the palace is watching quietly, saying very little, letting events unfold without interference. Insiders suggest this is intentional. Silence, after all, can be powerful, especially when contrasted with past years of public rebuttals and emotional interviews. There's also a broader context at play. Historically, members of the royal family have been advised to avoid situations that invite regulatory or political scrutiny, precisely because of how easily it can spiral. Meghan's decision to operate fully outside that framework gave her freedom, but it also removed a layer of institutional protection. Sources close to palace advisors say this difference is now stark. Where working royals are insulated by centuries-old structures, private foundations stand alone. And when questions arise, there is no palace machine to absorb the pressure. Royal commentators note that this moment may test Meghan's long-term strategy. Will she address concerns head-on, maintaining transparency? Or will she retreat from the spotlight, allowing silence to speak for her? Either choice carries risk, and insiders say that uncertainty is what makes this situation feel so intense. Across the Atlantic, reactions have been mixed. Supporters argue that scrutiny is being unfairly amplified because of Meghan's profile. Critics say public accountability is part of leading a global charity. And somewhere in between lies a growing sense that this story is far from over. What's particularly fascinating, according to royal analysts, is how this unfolds alongside the monarchy's evolving image. King Charles is reportedly focused on streamlining, clarity, and restoring trust. Catherine is seen as embodying stability and continuity. And against that backdrop, any turbulence linked to the Sussexes feels increasingly isolated. Insiders even suggest that palace figures may view this moment as confirmation of a long-held belief that stepping away from royal duty doesn't eliminate pressure, it simply changes its source. As one royal commentator reportedly put it, the crown protects, but it also confines. Outside the system, there is freedom, but no shield. For Meghan, this could be a defining test, not because of what is ultimately found, but because of how she navigates uncertainty without the structures she once criticized but no longer has. And yet, nothing is resolved. No conclusions have been drawn. No outcomes announced. Just questions. Quiet ones. Official ones. The kind that don't make noise, but echo loudly behind closed doors. As Royal Report 24/7 continues to follow this developing situation, one thing is clear. This is no longer just about past grievances or media narratives. It's about credibility, accountability, and a delicate balance between influence and oversight. Will this moment pass quietly, fading into the background of royal news cycles? Or will it mark the beginning of a deeper reckoning for the Sussexes' post-royal legacy? For now, insiders say Meghan is watching closely. The palace is waiting patiently, and the world is listening. And as this story continues to unfold, if you want to stay ahead of the whispers, the signals, and the moments the headlines miss, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Report 24/7. Like, share, and stay with us. Because in the world of royalty, today's question often becomes tomorrow's revelation.